Something followed me home from a hiking trip. My dog refused to enter my bedroom for 10 days. Then I woke up at 2 a.m. and felt it lying beside me. I'm 31, I live in Glasgow, Scotland, and this happened 2 years ago after a solo trip in the Cairngorms. 5 days, good weather, nothing went wrong on the trail itself. I came home tired and happy, unpacked, went to bed. The first thing I noticed was the smell. It wasn't a bad smell, more like the smell of outside. Cold air and wet rock. The specific smell of the mountains, inside my third-floor flat with every window closed. I figured I hadn't unpacked my gear properly. Moisture in the bags. That was my explanation, and I held it for about 3 days. Then I noticed my dog. She's a border terrier called Midge. She slept in my bedroom every night since I got her 3 years ago. Pushed the door open, settled at the foot of the bed, completely reliable. 3 days after I got back, she stopped coming in. She'd stand in the doorway, look into the room for a moment, and then turn around and go sleep in the hallway. I'd call her and she'd look at me from the threshold and just not come in. I figured she was being weird about something I'd moved in the furniture. Dogs do that. Then on the 7th night, I woke up at 2 a.m. and felt the weight on the other side of the bed. Not Midge. She was in the hallway. I could hear her. This was on the far side of the mattress. A weight distributed, substantial, the way the springs feel when someone is lying beside you. The duvet shifted. I lay completely still for a long time and it did not go away. I reached over slowly and pressed my palm flat on that side. Nothing visible, nothing I could grip. But the mattress was compressed and the duvet indented in the shape of a person lying down. I got up, spent the night on the couch with every light in the flat on. In the morning, I called my mum, who is from a small village in the Western Isles and has a very different relationship with these kinds of things than most people. She asked me specific questions about the route I'd taken, whether I'd gone off the marked path, whether I'd disturbed or taken anything from the land. I had. A small flat stone from the ridge on day 3. Nice shape. I'd picked it up without thinking. Still in my jacket pocket. She told me to take it back. I said that was 6 hours of driving each way. She said, take it back. I drove up that Saturday, walked to the approximate spot on the ridge, set the stone down exactly where I'd found it. The smell was gone by the time I got home that evening. Midge slept in the bedroom that night. I haven't felt the weight on the mattress since. I don't know what I brought home. I don't know if it was the stone itself or something that used the stone as a way to follow. I don't know what it was doing in my flat for 10 days, or what it wanted, or whether it's still up on that ridge right now. My mom says none of that matters. What matters is I took it back. She said it the way you say something obvious. I'm starting to think it probably is. I bought a Victorian mirror at a flea market for $40. Within a week, I wasn't showing up in my own reflection. Within 2, the mirror had rotated itself on the wall. I'm 44, I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I collect antiques. 15 years of it. I know how to research a piece before it comes into my home. I did not research the mirror. Small, oval frame, Victorian, black lacquer, beveled glass, $40. Estate clearance from South Jersey. I hung it in the hallway the same afternoon I got home. First thing, my reflection was off. A slight delay, a quarter second between me moving and the mirror responding. Dim hallway, tired eyes. I moved on. A week later, I walked past at 11 at night and caught something in my peripheral that made me stop and look directly at the glass. The reflection showed my hallway, everything correctly placed, coat rack, side table, the print on the wall. But I wasn't in it, standing directly in front of the mirror, and I was not in the reflection. I stepped forward. The reflection caught me. Weird angle. Light. Doing something strange. I told myself that. 2 nights later, I woke up, certain something was in the flat. Not a sound that woke me, just the certainty, that specific cold knowledge in the chest. I listened for 10 minutes and heard nothing. Checked every room. Everything locked, everything empty. On my way back to bed, I passed the hallway mirror and stopped. It was facing the wrong direction. I'd hung it portrait, tall. It was now landscape, rotated 90 degrees on the hook, which requires lifting it off, turning it, placing it back. A deliberate action. I had not done that. I took it down the next morning and put it in a box in my storage unit. That's the end of it, I thought. That night I woke at the same hour, with the same certainty. Checked the flat. Walked past the wall where the mirror had been. There was a reflection on the bare plaster. Faint, oval-shaped, exactly where the mirror used to hang. No light source, no reflective surface, just a reflection on a flat wall. I sold the storage unit, contents and all. Didn't go back for anything. The reflection on the wall faded over about 3 weeks. I marked the days. I still don't hang mirrors in my hallway. And I don't buy anything from an estate clearance without finding out a lot more about who lived there first. Some things come with the item, and they don't go back when you want them to. I stopped at a rest stop on a long drive and came back to find someone in my back seat. The car had been locked the entire time. When the police opened the doors, it was empty. I'm 28, I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and this happened about 18 months ago, on a drive out to visit a friend. Long solo drive, afternoon into evening. I was fine, alert, not tired. About 7 hours in, I stopped at a rest stop. 5 minutes, bathroom, back to the car. And before I got in, I did what I always do on long drives. I looked through the rear window into the back seat. Someone was in it. Sitting on the passenger side, head angled toward the window, completely still, dark clothing. I saw them clearly for maybe 2 seconds before I took a full step back from the car. My car had been locked, key in my pocket the entire 5 minutes. I called 911, stood 15 meters back, and waited. 2 officers arrived in about 8 minutes. They approached both sides, opened the rear doors at the same time. Empty. Nothing on the seat, nothing on the floor, no sign anyone had been inside. They checked the boot, looked under the seats. Nothing. They took my description carefully, suggested fatigue and long hours of driving as a likely explanation, which is fair. But here is what I need you to understand. I know what tiredness does to my perception. I've driven through the night before. What tiredness does not produce is a fully formed human figure with consistent shape, posture, and clothing detail, observed for 2 full seconds, that then simply isn't there. I drove the rest of the way with every interior light on and checked the mirror every 15 minutes. 3 days later, I drove home. Same route, stopped at the same rest stop because I needed to. Came back to the car, looked in the back seat before I opened the door. Empty, obviously. But I stood there a moment longer than I needed to. just making absolutely sure. My dad died 6 years ago. That same night, something settled onto his side of the bed. It's still there sometimes, and I've stopped being afraid of it. I'm 41, I live in Ottawa, Ontario, and this started the night my father died. He died on a Tuesday evening in November. I was with him. Drove home alone around 2 a.m. I needed to not be around people, and got into bed, and don't remember falling asleep, but I must have, because something woke me at 3:15. The weight on the left side of the bed. Heavy and distributed, the weight of a person lying down. The springs adjusted. The duvet shifted slightly, and it was his side. When he came to stay with us, he always had that side. We always gave it to him. I lay still for a long time. The weight didn't move, just stayed. And I was afraid, but underneath the fear there was something else I have trouble saying out loud. I wasn't alone. On the worst night of my life, in an empty house, I was not alone. It's been 6 years. The weight still comes sometimes, less often than it used to, but it comes. Always the left side, always that familiar, settled feeling. I told my friend Rashid about it, he's a doctor. He said very gently that grief can produce physical sensation, and that bereavement experiences are well documented. I understand what he meant, and I don't fully disagree. But grief doesn't adjust mattress springs. Grief doesn't shift a duvet. I told my mom last. She was quiet for a moment, then she said, "Your father always slept on the left side." "I know," I said. She said, "He probably just doesn't know where else to go yet." 6 years on, I still think about that word, yet. I don't know what yet looks like from wherever he is. But whatever it is, some nights it's still there. Still the same side. Still that weight. And I've stopped being scared of it. I just lie still. The way you lie still in the dark next to someone you love, not needing anything from them, just knowing they're there. I think that has to be enough. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.